Hey Team Titleist, Joe Highsmith here, just coming off a win last week at the Cognizant. We're here at Bay Hill. It's a pretty incredible place to be, and we're going to be going through what's in the bag today. Yeah, this is a 2025 one, so I switched into it right away. I mean, I feel like all the Titleist stuff, I mean, as soon as something new comes out, I usually put it in because it's just, for the most part, better. And I just think it's super reliable. Like, whether I'm trying to hit like a nice soft spinner on the greens, I feel like I can do that, but you know, it holds wind with a hard driver, I feel like. So I just love the ball. It's been extremely reliable. I was trying to kind of aim it out at that right edge of left bunker on 15 and just hold a little draw in there. It was kind of straight into the wind, so whether it was left or right, it was going to probably get exaggerated, and it was crucial to just hit like a nice flighted little draw there, and I was able to make a nice aggressive swing with a 6-iron in it. I mean, ripped through the wind. It ended up going way farther than I thought. And then kind of the same thing on 16. It was pretty much the exact same shot, which was nice because I was like, I just did this 5 minutes ago, so let's just do that same thing.
He's hitting it right on the button. Every one of these shots with difficult, he's just striped.
You know, 17 was kind of more of the same, where I kind of knew it was like, all right, if I make, you know, that quality of swing, I'm going to get this ball flight and it's going to do the right stuff. And I was able to hit like a nice chip 7-iron in there and kind of flight it and hold that wind a little bit. And every time, I mean, the ball performed perfectly for sure. It was nice to not have any of those get up in the wind and just have that confidence that, you know, if I do this right, I'm going to get this result, and then I could, you know, be a little more freed up through the difficult bear trap. Yeah, so this is the GT3. I put this in the bag like as soon as I hit it. It's got a HZRDUS 6.5 60 gram Tour X shaft in it. This club's been great. I mean, what I love about it is it's got just like a nice, solid, softer sound to it and feel, but at the same time, you know, it spins less and it goes farther than my old driver. So it's just a no-brainer to play it. I mean, I loved it. Literally the first shot I hit with it, and I think it was the same for like most guys that did it. It was like, wow, this thing is pure. It sounds good, feels good, looks good, and, you know, performs better than all the other stuff. So I always tell my buddies that if they're looking for a new driver, they got to get this one. Yeah, so this is my 3-wood GT3. It's the same model, I guess, as the driver. And this was another easy put in the bag. It's got a similar shaft, 6.5 TX, 70 gram, low spin, HZRDUS Smoke, and the head's great. I feel like this one is super reliable, where I can hit kind of like a trap hot knuckleball if I want with it and get some extra yardage out of it. But if I also need to, you know, put it up in the air to hold a green, I can hit like a high spinny cut with it. And I mean, the performance is just incredible. Like, I feel like anytime I make, you know, the right swing for a certain shot, it does exactly that. Somewhat of a turning point on hole 4 in the final round, where, you know, I've been going back to like this kind of process commitment stuff, and it's kind of just like this nice freed up feeling kind of through impact. And so I had a 3-wood on 4. It was like so high and dead straight and just pure, like held to finish. It was absolutely flushed. And that was actually kind of a turning point where I was like, dude, like this stuff is the right stuff. And if I keep making swings like that, I think I can do some pretty special things. And that was absolutely purest shot of the day for sure, even though it's just a 3-wood on a, you know, short par 4. But that shot was actually very memorable, even though it wasn't, you know, a crucial shot or anything, but it was like one of those shots where you're just like, man, that was pure. All right, this is my T200 2-iron, same shaft, HZRDUS Smoke. I've played a 3-iron for a long time, but I put this in, I think like last year around the Zurich, because I felt like my 3-iron was a little spinny and it wasn't going that much farther than my 4-iron, and I felt like this was going to be a nice weapon off the tee box where I could get, you know, 240, 250 yards out of it. But this just feels like something I can trap and keep low and like guarantee fairway finder. And at the same time, I feel like I'm able to hit, you know, high floating spinny shots with it as well. So sea level is going to carry about 240, I would say. And then, you know, I feel like I can really hit it up in the air and hold a firm green and, you know, maybe carry it 230 or a little bit less. And then at the same time, I think on 16 last week, I hit like a nice little trap draw with this that probably ended up going like 280. So I feel like, you know, I'm able to take spin off and hit like a low draw with this and get a ton of distance out of it. But at the same time, I can hit, you know, floating cuts that are able to hold greens. So it's a pretty reliable club. And anytime I have this one in my hands, I feel like I'm going to hit a good one. So my irons, The T100s, I don't know how long you guys have been making them, but I've played this same model, I'm pretty sure, for at least 2 or 3 years. And it's just got like the classic, you know, classy Titleist iron look to it, where it just looks good, it feels good. You know, the irons are great. I would never consider switching. It's just like kind of checks all the boxes for me. It's got a good look to it. They feel good. They perform well. And so this 4-iron's 225 if I'm swinging well. 5-iron stock yardage is going to be in that 205 to 210 range, I would say. Same build, obviously everything's the same with this guy. 6-iron is probably in that 190 to 195 range typically. And then 7 is going to be about 180 typically. I feel like my 8-iron can kind of hang in that 65 to 70 range. 9-iron's like, I don't feel like I can get much more than 155 out of it. And then pitching wedge, probably stock is around 140. Yeah, 50 degree is about 120, 125 range. 54, it's like 110 to 115. And then my 58 goes about 95 to 105. I mean, in my pitching wedge, I got a 10 degrees of bounce F, just a 46 degree. I really like the Vokey wedge versus a pitching wedge in an iron set. I feel like there's just way more control with it. It, you know, performs well. I'll still hit this out of bunkers if it's, you know, 30, 40 yard shot. I'll hit nice little bump and runs with this. And it's, you know, super, super reliable club. 50 degree, 12 degrees of bounce, same kind of thing. I do like to chip with this one a little bit for bump and runs, and it works well. 54 is a 14F. I've kept this kind of same set for a long time. It works, and I roll with that. The lob wedge is the one that I've probably tinkered with a little bit. I was with Shane at Titleist a few months ago, and we got in like an L grind, and I think put 60 degrees of loft on it to try and get a little more height and spin around the greens. And that was great, but I felt like I lost a little bit of, I do hit this a lot from, you know, 85 to 105. So like I didn't want to give that up. And I feel like I, you know, do have that number or those ranges of numbers quite a bit. So that L grind felt like I was able to kind of, you know, hit a better spinner, but I felt like maybe I had a little less variability, where with this club, I can still hit like a low bump and run. I can hit, you know, a medium height to higher spinner with it if I want. And the T grind, I think, is one that a lot of guys use, and it's been, you know, working pretty well for me. This is a magical wand right here. This thing, you know, without a doubt is to credit for my success last week. You know, I've putted with this same shape. It's a 009 Classic Scotty. I first got it back in like 2017. I got this shape because I wanted to be like Jordan Spieth, obviously, and that's the one that he uses. And I don't think I was able to get like his same finish on it, so I had one that looked similar. But you know, anything to try and putt like Jordan. I went to the studio and I kind of told Paul that I was looking for maybe something slightly different and just a different look, and but the same putter, same metal, same kind of everything. But this one just has a, you know, a much cooler like stamp. I think I tried to do like a knockoff version of Cam Smith's putter, and then I kind of customized the back here. It's pretty cool with the red dot and the tour only, and just absolutely love the look of this thing. I don't know what it is, but I swear it has like this magic little pop to it that I haven't felt in any other putter. And kind of since getting this thing, it's just felt really good, and it's worked pretty well. And to be able to, you know, putt the way I did around the back nine yesterday was pretty special. I mean, just I've been seeing Paul since I was 15 or 16 years old, and to kind of go through that process, get a new putter that I liked with him, and then to come out and, you know, gain like 6 shots putting on the weekend at PGA National was pretty sweet. But yeah, so we, I don't think I knew what it was necessarily going to look like. We had a design idea, and then I wasn't able to leave with the putter, which I was bummed about. And then I was able to get it at Torrey, and as soon as I saw it, I, you know, took pictures and showed all my friends about how sick it was. And it's got a pretty classy look to it, and, you know, fortunately, it's been able to work pretty well for me. Yeah, so I mark my ball with check marks. I was watching an old Masters coverage from the early 2000s, and a guy who's won 15 majors said that he had check marks on his ball. And I assume he was just talking about a Nike golf ball, but I kind of took that and started putting it on my Pro V1s, and yeah, that's about the story. I've put like these just check marks. It's a unique little mark. No one else does it, so that's kind of about it. You know, I don't know all the science behind what you guys put in the golf balls, but it seems like this one, I'm just able to kind of do everything that I need to with it. And I've never hit a shot and been like, you know, oh, that spun way too much, or that didn't spin enough, or that should have done this, but it was kind of floating, or whatever it was. Like, it's always kind of doing what I'm trying to do with it, as long as I'm, you know, hitting the right shots. But I've always just had like great equipment from you guys. So I've played Titleist since I was 14 or 15 years old through the bag. And, you know, it's nice, something that maybe I wasn't really aware of, but it was like, yeah, I was able to hit, you know, a shot on 15 that was great and incredible. And I knew that, you know, the last thing I had to worry about was, you know, is this ball going to spin, or is, you know, the same swing not going to give me the same result? It was like, I had that confidence that it was going to give me the exact same thing, which it literally did. It's been great. I mean, it certainly worked well last week in the wind, and hopefully we'll continue to do so.